going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And today, tariff talk continues, but at least with some resolution. The speculation is over, at least when it comes to one retailer in the retro gaming space. Now, the retailer we're talking about today is UK-based Funstock. And if you're not really familiar with Funstock and why an American is ordering something from the UK, well, basically, UK is sort of the home of Evercade. And Funstock is the home for all of the limited edition consoles and cartridges that are produced by Evercade. So if you want to get your hands on some of the exclusive stuff, you're going to have to go to Funstock. Now, there are other retailers. There is a retailer called Video Games Plus in Canada that also carries the majority of the standard issue Evercade products. And of course, there is Amazon, which has turned out to be a complete crapshoot. So Funstock tends to be the company that's probably the most stable and offers the most variety of products. And I have had several things ordered and pre-ordered from this retailer, so I can tell you that they're a good retailer, and everything arrives as it should. And there's no surprises. But evidently, no one was really prepared for the surprise that the U.S. government has bestowed upon the entire consumer space. This affects everybody, not just retro gaming. Anybody that orders anything is probably under the impression, or they understand, that it's coming from China. That's right. Everything everybody ever buys on Amazon or any online retailer usually comes from China. And that is the main source of the impact of some of these trade wars and tariffs. In response to this, about a month ago, Funstock sent out emails and they put a notice on their website to U.S. Customers specifically, saying that, hey, listen, we are pausing all orders from U.S. customers. So you couldn't actually make an order for anything they had in stock. They wouldn't accept it because they didn't know what to charge you. You also could not pre-order any products. Kind of sucks, right? But it was a pause until they kind of figured out what was going on. But there were other customers like me that were still left in limbo because April 1st, they had just come out with these sweet Neo Geo cartridges and also handhelds. That was the big thing because Funstock had the limited edition versions of these super pockets that play the Evercade cartridges. Everyone else is going to get this black version inspired by the AES. That was really cool. But I was really interested in the MBS version, the red, for obvious reasons. And I got a couple of those. Actually, I got 3 different super pockets on pre-order. I was excited to get them, anxiously waiting to get my hands on these products. But of course, this happened, and the pre-orders were sort of in limbo, and we didn't really know what to think. I mean, think about it. I mean, the possibilities are really out there where they could just cancel your pre-order, charge you all kind of money. I mean, who knows what was going to actually happen? Well, last night on my This Week show, we talked about it, and this was the idea that I kind of put out there. Check it out. Right at a month, I guess. A little bit less than a month. Whenever they said, hey, listen, we're going to pause everything. So I tend to agree with you, but I think here's what could potentially happen is we would see an increase. They're going to put because they're pre-orders, they're not going to hit us with a 30% increase, but maybe like a 10% surcharge or some kind of something. I think they'll say, hey, listen, we want to honor your pre-orders, but you're going to incur an extra 10%. If you want to keep your pre-order, we'll say, here's the invoice for the 10%. If you don't want to pay the 10%, click this link and we'll issue a refund. So on the heels of that fresh speculation, I got an email today, which I assume went out to all U.S. holders of current pre-orders. And here it is. Let me throw it up on the screen. This says, notice for existing pre-orders, an update on U.S. tariffs and import duties. We are writing to update you about your existing order with Funstock. Due to recent changes in U.S. customs and tariff duties, we are now able to advise on shipping and potential charges for your pre-order. For all other orders to the United States, there will be a local duty charge that will be required from your local postal service before the package can be delivered. Here are the charges. There will be a fee of 10% of the value of the goods for most orders. And then you can check out the link there for the shipping terms and conditions and all that. So here's the big question. What are the next steps? If you are happy, then we will continue with your order and you'll receive a notification email of any charges due once the item or items have been shipped from your local U.S. Postal Service. We will be unable to deal with queries related to these charges as they are dealt with directly between the recipient and the Postal Service. So we're going to get some kind of an email from the USPS letting us know, hey, your package is here, but you owe some money. What can you do? 10% of the value of whatever you just ordered. Welcome to the new world. Continuing on, if you do not wish to proceed with your order, contact us as soon as possible for any cancellation and refund request. This will need to be done before the item ships, so please contact us by June 10th, which I assume is the new ship date, for any order changes. If any orders are sent and returned due to non-payment of the customs charge, then an administration fee will be applied to your order and deducted from your refund. Well, seems that my prophetic powers have reached their peak to everyone's dismay. Yeah, I pretty much called it exactly like this. And listen, this is what it is. So let's look at the good side. Okay, the good news is that we're going to get our pre-orders. There was a real chance, I think, that they could have absolutely canceled everything, even though I tended to think that this was the way they were going to go. So we're getting our pre-orders. That's good. What's bad? Well, looks like you're going to get stuck with a 10% charge, and it's not just going to be something that you can deal directly with Funstock. You're going to have to deal with your local post office. I'm not sure how that's even going to work. Are you going to have to now go to your local post office and pay the fee, pay the 10%, and then they give you your package, which could be a real pain for somebody that maybe doesn't know where their local post office is, you know? And the whole point of ordering stuff online is you want it delivered. You don't want to have to worry about going and getting it. And, you know, local hours for the USPS, I don't know about your area, but in mine, it's like, you know, 8 to 5, 8:30 to maybe 5:30. I mean, there's a narrow window for trying to go and get your stuff, so it's a bit of a pain. But moving forward, I'm hoping that 10% will just be included in the price and you won't have to worry about this moving forward. So at the end of the day, we do have some resolution on this. I'm glad I'm getting my pre-order. Now, what am I going to do about the 3 Super Pockets that I have ordered? Now I can count on another 10% per item. Well, what do I do? Well, I got the MVS version, and this is the bundle, so I have this with the case. I have the AES version with the case, so I have those two. But the third one, I got just another MVS that I was going to give away on the channel. Now what do I do? Now that I'm looking at an additional 25 bucks, I think, if you talk about the actual 10% duty on the entire total amount of the order. I don't know. It's kind of rough because I actually placed those orders separately because of the pre-order. I didn't really know if I was going to be able to get everything in my shopping cart at the same time. So now I have 3 orders that are each going to be hit with a 10%, you know, tax, tariff, duty. Great. Yeah, it's duty, all right. So it is what it is. What can you do? But at least now we know what the cost is going to be and that we're actually going to get our products this month. Anyway, let me know what you think about the impact of all this in the comments section below. Do you have a pre-order? Do you plan on now trying to pre-order? I just checked the website before I made this video, and the notice is still up there, so they're not currently accepting orders from customers. And we still have their showcase that's going to happen in 2 days from now on the 28th. What new things are we going to learn, or is it just going to be, you know, business as usual? And they're going to talk about just new products. So lot of questions I think that are still out there, but some questions, at least on the tariff side, have finally been answered. Thank you so much for stopping by and checking out the channel. Y'all have a blessed day, and I'll see all of you next time. Tariff talk. When is it going to end? Well, at least I'm getting my Super Pockets. 2 or 3. Who am I kidding? I'm just going to keep them all.